Imagine boarding a plane for what should be a routine flight. Passengers settle into their seats. The engines roar to life. The aircraft lifts into the sky. Air traffic controllers track its progress. Everything appears normal. Then suddenly, the plane vanishes. No distress call. No emergency signal. No wreckage. No survivors. Just silence. Tonight on The Lost Chronicles, we investigate some of the world's most mysterious aviation disappearances. Cases where entire aircraft seemingly vanished from the face of the earth. What happened to these flights? How can a massive aircraft disappear in the modern age? And are there still answers waiting to be discovered? Let's uncover the mystery. Chapter 1: The Flight into the Unknown. For most travelers, flying is one of the safest forms of transportation. Every year, millions of flights successfully reach their destinations. But throughout aviation history, a handful of aircraft have disappeared under circumstances so strange that investigators remain baffled decades later. These are not ordinary accidents. These are cases where planes vanished without explanation, leaving behind only questions. And some of those questions remain unanswered to this day. Chapter 2: Flight 19, The Beginning of a Legend. One of the most famous aviation mysteries occurred on December 5, 1945. 5 U.S. Navy bombers departed from Florida on a routine training mission. The group became known as Flight 19. Weather conditions were initially favorable. The pilots were experienced. The route was familiar. Then something went wrong. Radio transmissions revealed confusion among the pilots. The flight leader reported that his compass appeared to be malfunctioning. Soon, the aircraft became disoriented. Controllers attempted to guide them back. But the pilots struggled to determine their location. As darkness approached, communication became increasingly difficult. Then the transmission stopped. A massive search operation followed. More than 300 aircraft and ships participated. Yet not a single confirmed piece of wreckage was ever found. The disappearance helped fuel legends surrounding the infamous Bermuda Triangle. But to this day, nobody knows exactly what happened. Chapter 3: The Star Tiger Mystery. In January 1948, another aircraft vanished without explanation. The British passenger plane Star Tiger was traveling across the Atlantic Ocean. On board were 31 people. The flight proceeded normally for several hours. Crew members communicated regularly with air traffic control. Then suddenly, all contact ceased. No distress call was received. No wreckage was discovered. No bodies were recovered. Search teams covered thousands of square miles of ocean. Nothing was found. Investigators concluded that the cause of the disappearance could never be determined. Even today, the fate of the Star Tiger remains one of aviation's greatest mysteries. Chapter 4: The Disappearance of Flight MH370. Perhaps the most famous aviation mystery of modern times occurred in March 2014. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH370 departed from Kuala Lumpur bound for Beijing. There were 239 people on board. Less than an hour after takeoff, the aircraft disappeared from radar. What happened next shocked the world. Satellite data suggested the plane continued flying for hours after losing contact. Search efforts became one of the largest and most expensive investigations in aviation history. Countries from around the globe joined the effort. Ships searched vast stretches of ocean. Aircraft scanned remote regions. For years, investigators hunted for answers. Eventually, pieces of debris believed to belong to the aircraft washed ashore on distant coastlines. But the main wreckage was never located. The final moments of MH370 remain largely unknown. And for many families, the mystery continues. Chapter 5: The Ghost Plane. Throughout aviation history, reports have emerged of so-called ghost planes. Aircraft discovered flying without responding to radio calls. In some cases, pilots appeared incapacitated. In others, the aircraft continued on autopilot until fuel exhaustion. One of the most famous examples occurred in 1999. A private jet carrying professional golfer Payne Stewart lost cabin pressure shortly after takeoff. Communication suddenly ceased. The aircraft continued flying for nearly 4 hours while military jets monitored its path. No one responded from inside. Eventually, the plane crashed after running out of fuel. The incident highlighted how quickly a routine flight can become a mystery, and how helpless observers can be when communication disappears. Chapter 6: Theories and Speculation. Whenever a plane disappears, theories emerge. Mechanical failure, pilot error, severe weather, navigation problems, hijacking, sabotage, and sometimes, far stranger explanations. The Bermuda Triangle has become one of the most famous examples. For decades, stories have connected disappearances to the region. Some suggest magnetic anomalies. Others point to unusual weather conditions. More extreme theories involve unknown forces or unexplained phenomena. However, most aviation experts believe natural explanations are usually responsible. The challenge is that without evidence, certainty becomes impossible. And mysteries thrive where answers are missing. Chapter 7: Why are these cases so difficult? Finding a missing aircraft is far more difficult than many people realize. Oceans cover more than 70% of Earth's surface. Some areas are deeper than Mount Everest is tall. Aircraft can break apart over enormous distances. Strong currents move debris far from crash sites. Radar coverage can be limited. Weather conditions can destroy evidence. And in remote regions, search teams often face impossible odds. Sometimes investigators have only fragments of information. Sometimes they have none at all. That is what makes aviation disappearances so haunting. The sky leaves few clues. And the ocean keeps secrets. In conclusion, from Flight 19 to Star Tiger to MH370, aviation history is filled with mysteries that continue to fascinate investigators and researchers. Some cases may eventually be solved. Others may remain unanswered forever. But each disappearance serves as a reminder that even in our age of advanced technology, there are still places where certainty ends and mystery begins. Somewhere beneath the waves, beyond the horizon, or hidden within forgotten records, the truth may still exist, waiting to be discovered. What do you think is the greatest aviation mystery of all time? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoy unsolved mysteries, disappearances, and hidden secrets, subscribe to The Lost Chronicles for more journeys into the unknown. Because some mysteries are never truly forgotten.